On today's wisdom, we will be speaking about sugar addiction, diabetes, liver, and more. So stay tuned. And welcome back. My name is Deanne Ocha, and I am the experiential coach. And what I'm going to talk about today is sugar addiction, diabetes, pancreas, liver, genetics, and more. This topic is very close to me personally for many levels. My dad was diabetic ever since I could remember, and he passed away 30 years ago, recently. And I remember the day he passed away, we were talking about this, and he's been on insulin since he was in his 20s. And I really don't know how he became diabetic, to tell you the honest truth. It was such a long time ago, and we were talking about that before he got sick. My grandmother was diabetic. My mom became diabetic. My siblings are diabetic. I was gestational when I had my kids, and now yes, I am also diabetic. I mean, it is reversible. There's no question about it. It's about lifestyle and foods and, the day-to-day challenges we have and so on and so forth. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this only because this is close to a lot of people. There's type 1, there's type 2, and we cannot take it for granted. I know we're very stubborn in our lifestyles, we get too comfortable, but sometimes we really have to make changes. And we're going to talk about that today. So, sugar addiction. Now, sugar is a necessity that we need in our body. I'm not going to deny that. It comes in so many types of foods. I know for me, when I'm cooking rice, I don't steam rice. I wash the rice out to take all that excess starch out because the starch is converted. So we'll back up the train a little bit. What happens? You take food in. The liver is responsible for converting it and processing it into sugar, which is a natural form of energy for the body. And what it does, it sends it over to the pancreas. The pancreas now gives off insulin. It produces the insulin to balance the excess energy. Sugar is energy. The sugar is not in the pancreas. It's the energy that comes from the sugar is produced by the liver. What happens now with diabetes is that there's too much energy in the pancreas. The pancreas cannot handle the job. It's a big job. It's so much strain on it. So it cannot handle and it cannot produce enough insulin in order to balance itself. So what we need to do now is we need to shift that excess energy into another place, which is an energy center, the different energy centers in your body to store that so you can use it, or you exercise, you release. But here's the thing, there's a combinations of things you have to do, not one or the other. So what is diabetes? It's really a chronic illness and is reversible, like I mentioned before. Understanding your body will also help you control your sugar levels. It has to do with lack of sleep. It also has to do with the foods you eat, the times you eat, what you don't eat. Is it balanced? You know, you know, milk is not good for the nighttime. I love milk. It's not good to drink at nights. There's some foods that's good, there's some foods that's good. Because you have to remember, a lot of things are processed now, the foods that we eat. And that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. And there's a reason for that. The reason because it's a money making drug companies and so forth. Now I was on two medication. I took myself off, being honest here, and I'm telling you, I don't recommend this at all to yourself. You have to know your body because I was getting so sick with it. So sick that I can't even begin to explain that. So I want to say to you, you have to learn about the sugar spikes. You have to, there's techniques, very simple practice and techniques I can share with you about how you can move the excess energy from your pancreas to your lower abdomen. Very simple. The other things we can look at. There's also, we can talk about healing for that. Most people truly do not understand what can happen when you have this. It's a disease, it's a chronic one. Anything that's more than a year, it is chronic. You know, you end up eating some of the foods. Like there's a food that like a bitter melon. Oh my god, I cannot eat that thing. But I made an attempt and I did that because it balances your sugar. Even when you drink a cinnamon stick or cinnamon, use cinnamon within moderation, of course, but water and in foods, it also helps reduce your blood sugar. What time does it spike? Do you exercise enough? What exercise works? What you can eat, how much you cannot eat. It is a lifestyle you have to adjust to. It's a lifestyle that you have to now customize to yourself. The 10 o'clock at night, there is a cycle where your body does certain things and heals itself. And one of them is at 10 o'clock at night, for those 2 hour 10 to 12, I believe, is where the liver does its work. So we really should be resting. And just to let you know, the liver, there's 5 body organs. That's most important. The liver is the one that hosts the heart, the spleen, the lungs, and the kidneys. Don't believe that one is disconnected from the other. And if you don't know where your liver is, it's on your right side, just under your, guess where your breastbone is, just on the right side there. You can figure it out. Just to know where your liver is. And your pancreas is just under your spleen. Again, your spleen is covered by your ribs, your rib cage, and that's where your pancreas is. So imagine it goes from one side to the other. So I just want to share that with you to let you know that energy. So if you burn that energy by exercising and so forth, you're way ahead of the game. Don't take this lightly. It can affect your eyes. It can affect so many things in your body. And you don't want to be insulin dependent. So I want you to know, yes, I am making changes. Yes, seeing what's best for me. I'm working on it. I'm doing the healing, but that's just me. That's my choice. But I just wanted to bring this to your attention to know why you have sugar spikes, because it's too much sugar. And watch the packages because it's the processed sugar, the natural ones, and have more natural fruits and so forth. And that's going to help you. So educate yourself. Google it. I do to see what I can or can't eat or what may or may not work. My mother, she used to test everything she ate. Split peas with spiked sugar. carrots, bananas, so forth. But then they say, yes, you can eat carrots, and they say you could. So we have to do our own homework, and we have to keep testing and see what works best for us. So I want to say to all those fellow um, friends of ours who are here right now, if you know someone who is pre-diabetic, on the borderline, your sugar level should be around, well, I'm not sure whether in some of the other countries it's around below 6.5, and you can't have too low of a sugar either as well. And if you don't eat and break your fast in the morning, you're going to an over fasting, which will, of course, your sugar level will be higher. So it's really a discipline, to tell you the truth. Get enough sleep, drink enough, eat better, exercise mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. It all works in harmony. So until next time, on today's wisdom, this is Deanne saying, take care of yourself, love yourself by taking care of yourself. Okay? Till next time, take care.